I had to have this special show. Come on in here, people. Coming in, coming on in, coming on in. Come on in. Black men. I'm just now getting put up on game. Y'all been taking advice from a white woman named Pearl for the last year or so? You know how like dogs get that look on their face when it's a weird sound when they do that? When dogs hear a weird sound, they look and then they be like, "Arr!" Do that. That's how I'm looking at some of you niggas right now. I want to talk about this because I don't pay attention to this manosphere shit. I'm married. I ain't got a reason to. So I gotta listen. I gotta talk to the cats that do. Like, what's up, y'all? What's up, Dre Day? What's up, Kenneth Berry? Yeah, man. Oh shit. I lit this wrong. He said she a fake Kevin Samuels. Hold on, what's up, Boss of Queenie? Hold on, I gotta light my blunt right. Y'all take second priority over this blunt getting lit right. You know what I mean? Damn this show. This show don't get started to my blunt lit right. Then once this is lit, we can get started. You niggas can wait. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So yeah, we gotta talk about this. Salute to everybody. And salute to everybody that came to the Hidden History Museum comedy show. That shit was great. This next comedy show, y'all that come to the comedy show, come to laugh. A lot of you niggas came to people watch. And we had to crack y'all upside the head to get y'all ready to laugh. So when I first got on stage on Saturday, you niggas was coming to people watch. The show was fun. What's up, Quan? The Hidden History show was fun. But I noticed as soon as I got on stage, the crowds, everybody in the crowd looking at each other like, ooh, is that Juicy 6161? Is that Brother Red, Black, and Green 59? You niggas did not come to laugh. You niggas came to be like, is that Reggie 1963? I'm getting on stage cracking jokes. You niggas is looking like, who's that? Who is that? Where Tariq at? Who's that? Oh, Dwayne ain't as big as I thought he was. But we had to slap you niggas upside the head. Then he started laughing. What's up, Star? Yeah, where's the museum, nigga? So, now, Star, you were there to laugh, but you was on the front row, you and your husband, y'all was there to have a good time. All behind you people was looking like, who is that? 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 Are they looking at me? Are they looking at me? Who is that? What's up, Remy? Yeah, even my wife said it. My wife was like, man, them niggas did not come to, they came to people watch. But, and then the mic, it's been something when I host, then the mic started going out, in and out and shit. I'm like, damn, man. But, you know, a nigga's professional. Like, if I brought any slouchy comics that night, that show would have been trash. Not because the aesthetics were beautiful. Tariq Nasheed and his assistant, I mean, I've done plenty of comedy in spaces like that, but that shit was nice. We gotta start off by talking about how nice that Hidden History Museum is. That motherfucking museum is nice. It is a beautiful museum. Like, When I look at the amount of money that I said Kareem. When I looked at the amount of money that Tariq collected from us, he over delivered. Let me tell you something. To get a museum up and going within 2 years of donations is nothing but a miracle. Because this ain't the first museum I've donated to. I donate to LA County Museum of Art. The LA County Museum of Art, if they have you donate for something, if the LA County Museum of Art takes 10 years a minimum to build what they say what you're donating to, why are y'all complaining about like Tariq taking it 2? Because at LA County Museum of Art right now, there's a new wing that they're building. Because me and my wife go there every Saturday, not every Saturday, but in Saturdays in the summertime to watch jazz. And they've been taking donations for this new wing for the museum since like 2005. And they just started construction on that particular wing of the museum like last summer, 2022. I'm like, they started taking money in 2005. They didn't break ground on construction to 2022. The quality of the pictures Tariq has in that museum, the lighting, the audio system, everything about that museum is right. So I got to make sure the people came out and the people were dope. I'm not shit. The people that came to the show were dope. But this is what I noticed as a comedian, as an artist. Different environment breed different things, you know? Oh shit!
Still ain't got nobody living in there.
They just broke ground, like fixing it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. What's up with you, bro? I'm over here live on YouTube right now, man. You good?
Oh yeah, you good?
Yeah, you want? This is my man Damon right here. What's up, y'all?
My big bro right here,
right
real
here.
nigga, man.
I ain't seen a nigga in a minute. Everything good?
You good? Yeah.
Man, you have a good one, man.
Hey, you got that 2K23?
Hell yeah, I got that 2K23.
On the 5?
And I ain't got it on the 5 yet though, cause my this 2K is weak. I don't like that new 2K. I don't like it.
Why?
The lob, like you gotta hit double square twice, then hit X. That shit weird. Yeah, my man Damon right there. Good brother right there. Good brother. I ain't seen that nigga in a couple years. Shit. But so if you donate it to the museum, be proud. Because I cannot wait. This is cheap ass motorcycle go by. I cannot wait to take my nieces to that museum. They need to know about everybody on them walls. I mean, from the Black Pirates to the hip hop history to the history of LA. I cannot wait to take my nieces to that museum. But speaking as an artist, anytime we're in non-comedy clubs, audiences generally don't come to hear comedy here in LA. And so we have to deal with that element. And me being the pro that I am, I will get to the manosphere. I'm just waiting on more people to get in here. But I'm going to get to the manosphere in about 4 minutes. All right? So, as an artist, I'm prepared for that because although I'm not a known name in comedy, I didn't go to Hollywood like that. I was getting a lot of looks in Hollywood comedy clubs 2011, 12, 13. But I realized at about 2013 that if I'm going to go through the Hollywood route, I got to subscribe to the way they think. I got to pick up the agendas. I got to not say certain things. And it's funny too, because one of the people who told me that one of the Hollywood people who booked the black comedy rooms in Hollywood, he booked one of the most important nights in Hollywood. That particular dude once told me he didn't book me at his premiere night because he was scared that I was going to say what I was going to say. That same person was hitting comics around for tickets on trying to get in. And they had to come through me on getting in, on finding a way in. It's crazy how that works, right? The same person that tried to keep you out of Hollywood end up having to come to you to get into a show. That shit was funny. But I'm not even gonna say no names because that's old news. I don't harbor any bitterness. It's just I had to take the long route in comedy. So all the years I was in comedy, I'm doing hood shows. I'm doing bar shows. I'm doing the family room. Y'all hear Corey Holcomb talk about that shit all the time on 5150. I'm doing comedy in bars the last 10 years, and at biker clubs. I'm doing comedy at laundromats. Anywhere they can fit a stage and a mic, I'm doing comedy. And so that's when you do that for 10 years, and that's all you do, and I ain't really done no Hollywood clubs like that. When I did the Comedy Store last week, that was my first time doing the Comedy Store in 10 years. I do the nigger rooms. So when shit came to be real tight, and so did all the comics that I booked. All the comics that I booked, they do nigger rooms. Screw runs a nigger show, 12 years in LA. Screw used to run the Watts Coffee House comedy show in Watts. So that's the level of comics that you got. You got a bunch of Kamira. When we started comedy, she used to have a room at the Gardena Sports Bar, Crenshaw and Rosecrans. And we did comedy there every Wednesday night up until a nigga got shot at the barbershop that was next to us. When a nigga got shot at the barbershop, the comedy shit shut down. But that's where we've been grinding our axe as comedians. So you niggas didn't know who we were. Even London. London is on the show Ballers. He's on the show. We had London from, he plays Malik in that show Raising Canaan. But London, he's LA nigga. That nigga's from the hood here in LA. London, man, shit. London used to be on the grind with all of us. Me, Big Jai, Larry Goodwell, Craig. London, it was typical for me in London to be at the Inglewood Sports Bar on Market Street. This pre-gentrification Inglewood Sports Bar. You know what I mean? Before we got on HBO and Stars, London do 4 or 5 stages a night, and we be in the hood. Yeah, Uncle Marvin, yeah. So that's where all of us grinded our axe in comedy. So when we got to the show, it was like, okay, these people, okay, they came to people watch. We about to make you niggas laugh. And y'all laughed y'all asses off too. And I thank y'all again for coming. Because that's not a setting, a traditional setting, but you can change it. And this is for you young comics out there and artists out there. It don't matter what the energy of a room is when you walk into it. As an artist, as a human, as a person, you have the ability to change the energy of a room. Especially as an entertainer. Don't ever get intimidated by a crowd, people. If you are an entertainer, don't ever. See, the people in the crowd, I'm sure you niggas listening don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anybody out there who's an entertainer, you know what I'm talking about. Don't ever get intimidated or let the moment get bigger than you as an artist. And I'm still rusty as a comedian. I ain't been getting on stage the last 3 years. Since the pandemic, I've gotten on stage just less than 20 times since the pandemic's hit. And I used to get on stage sometimes 20 times in a month, usually. So, but don't ever let the opportunity intimidate you, artists. Use the energy that's there and flip it and put it back on them. And that's what we did on Saturday night. And we killed them motherfuckers too. Shouts out to Reuben Warren, Kamira White, Screw, Roy Rice, and London Brown. We did that. And get my tickets, a star. The tickets to my show for April 29th, they're in my LinkedIn on both Instagram and Twitter. On my LinkedIn page, I have the updated ticket for the show April 29th. Could you put that in the chat room? So I need y'all to get y'all tickets for April 29th. Whole new show, all new comics. Me and Larry gonna be going at it again. Shit's gonna be fire. Celebrity guests and some celebrity comics that's gonna come through unannounced. If you've been to my shit so far, you understand that A-listers fuck with me. I just don't go putting their names out there like that because I want you niggas to come see me. It ain't about them, it's about me, goddammit. And either you gonna fuck with me or you not. But when you fuck with me, you will get some surprises and meet people you've always wanted to meet. Now let's get into talking about this manosphere shit. Oh, and later on, I'm gonna come back on live at around 6 or 7, about 7 o'clock Western time. I'm gonna come back on live and I'm gonna do a reading show. So for you guys out there that want a reading for my show later on today at about 7 o'clock Western time, Pacific, I will be doing readings. And I want to focus on relationships. So if you got somebody that you want to read on the relationship, friendship, job, any kind of dynamic with somebody else, that's what I want to focus on later on. But if you just want me to read you, I got you. So that's going to be happening at about 7 o'clock today, later on today, a reading show. All right, man. Let's talk about, thank you, Star. Tickets to the show is right there in the comments. April 29th. Get your tickets because it will. Like my last show sold out in the middle of LA's worst rainstorm. So don't think this one ain't gonna sell out. The last one sold out, and LA had the worst rain we ever fucking had that day. So imagine how this shit gonna be with no rain. Get your tickets now. Plus, I'm gonna raise the price the last week of the show. So $25 for right now, that's a steal. Tickets gonna go up to $35 the last week of the show. So I appreciate that, Hurt. Bro said I worked the room like Robin Harris. I'll take that. Robin Harris is my muse. But so what we talking about? We talking about this whole manosphere thing, like, hey, black men, fellas, we taking advice from white women? For those of you who don't know, don't feel ashamed because I didn't know. I don't pay attention to this manosphere shit. I'm not, because I could be a negative ninny. I could be an agitator. So for the fellas that's into that, I'm not gonna shit on you. So I'll stay out of that manosphere space. I really do. I really do. I really stay out that space. But my man Ruben put me up on game as to what's been going on when I was at the Hidden History Museum. And he was talking about, and I heard a little bit of Jason Black's show on some white woman named Pearl. That's been basically, and it was put me up on game. And I went back since they told me, I've been looking at her clips. And she said some things, about making women accountable. And I get it. But fellas, black people in general, how long are we going to allow that game to be run on us? Allow somebody to say one or two things credible, and then we extend that credibility to every other area of their life and every other area of the message that they're saying. I'm saying that including me. You shouldn't take me as so goddamn credible that I'm just perfect on everything. You should always analyze what's being said with anybody, including me. I'm not here trying to be nobody's fucking Jesus. But when it comes to white folks and non-black people, we got to be triply cautious when they come around under the guise of helping us or speaking real to us. And the reason why we got to be extra skeptical, let me tell you the reason why. It's not because I'm saying black people are perfect and we're trustworthy. It's just that when other black people speak to us, we tend to already have an appropriate fear for other black people. We tend to have a healthy skepticism for other black people. So, for a black person to scam us, they got to be really good. They usually got to come but they still come the same way, usually as help preachers and shit like that. But we have a certain already skepticism of other black people. So not to say that other black people are perfect, It's just that we tend to already have a healthy skepticism of other black people. But when white people and non-black people come around, we tend to trust what they say, especially if they show that they know us or can talk to us on our level. All it takes for a white person or a non-black person usually to gain our trust, and this is speaking to the masses, not everybody in here. I don't want nobody saying, that ain't me. I'm not talking about you, nigga. I'm talking about 85% of niggas. If it ain't you, pat yourself on the back. You're part of the 15% in this particular topic. But I'm speaking to the 85% of Negroes. All it takes is a white person to dance like us, be able to recite a few lines from some underground music that we love, usually old school. All it takes is for them to have an energy of a vibe that's more culturally connected to our culture than theirs. And usually when they come to us in that package, and then they top it off by saying a few things that we adamantly agree with, we tend to culturally give them the credibility of what they establish. They say, racism exists and it's wrong. If a white person says that, 85% of black people goddamn drop their drawers and ready to fuck over something that simple. All it takes generally is for a white person to not be a heinous criminal for us to really, fall at their feet. And so, all right, have a good one. That's generally all it takes for us. Michael Rappaport, Bill Maher, we've seen this shit, and people like that have been able to snake through our environments for decades because they know a Tribe Called Quest song and they fuck black women and they smoke weed. A majority of us, when a white person establishes themselves on that small of a narrow, we tend to extend their credibility to all other areas of life. So now a white woman comes around in the vacuum after Kevin Samuels deceased, and she's saying a few things that are obvious. Nothing that's even controversial or it's going to change anything. It's just obvious. Women need to be more accountable. That's true. You know what I mean? We need to communicate better. That's true. And so because she says a few things that are obvious, that are true, now here we go. And I say we as a collective because it wasn't me, but I am wearing a black uniform. And I've been seeing a lot of black men talk about this woman over the last year, really 6 months, and sharing her videos. But I just kept scrolling. Like, I would just see white woman and niggas sharing the video, scroll. Next. So this white woman has been able to get a lot of niggas on her side. And then when I've been looking, it's been niggas defending her since she's come out and sided with known white supremacist Latino Nick Fuentes. When she started showing old past tweets about her talking dusty and dirty to black people. And then I heard a little bit of Jason Black's broadcast about it. And I guess tonight they're going to have something to where they're talking. I don't know. I'm probably not going to listen because I don't like to get in that manosphere controversy. Like, y'all can have that. I'm not really trying to be the manosphere decoder. You single niggas can have that. But I will say this. And this is based off a couple conversations I've had with some good friends over the weekend. And fellas, just like the women, and we say all the time, women need to fix their daddy issues, and that's true. I'm not saying black women don't need to fix their daddy issues. Too many do have daddy issues because of the systemic issues that we've dealt with specifically over the last 60 years. There are a lot of daddy issues to deal with. But fellas got daddy and mommy issues too. And too many men allow their daddy and mommy issues to dominate their current dynamic with women. And because there are too many men whose daddy and mommy issues resonate through their lives, through their subconscious, and plays out through their behaviors, unaware those underlying traumas that were passed down from your parents that were inept in some sort of way, whether they were present and not good examples or not present at all, whatever the issue is. There are lots of those issues, again, because of the society that we live in. It was engineered to be that way. So unfortunately, a lot of people were engineered into that environment, okay? Thank God I'm not one. I have my own issues. I got plenty of issues. I got plenty of problems. I ain't perfect at all. But thank God for me, the ability to connect with women isn't one of them. I've been holding the same woman down. Our 9-year anniversary is coming up next month. 9 years, shit. That's coming up in May. God damn. And before, I've always, issues with women ain't an issue with me. It never has been. Even before I was with my wife, I don't have any women drama. Hell, I still have women I used to deal with before I was married that come to my shows now. I mean, I have good relationships with everybody, but that's because my mom and my dad, I was on the phone with them earlier. They about to go to the casino. I'm like, you niggas y'all retired and don't give a fuck. My parents still be like kicking it. Shit, my wife and her parents still kick it. Last time I was over there, my wife, her dad and her mom was playing cards, you know what I mean? And so I know nothing but good relationships. But I know what it takes to maintain a good relationship, not only because I lived it my whole life, but because I have to practice this shit every day. And let me tell you, single niggas, this is word of advice to the single dudes. I'm not gonna tell you who to listen to, who not to listen to, but I will try to help you filter through some information. People from other races don't understand the intricacies and the dynamics between black men and women. So they can hit you with superficial reasoning, superficial logic that can help things on a superficial level. But the true inner workings and success of a relationship comes from what lies underneath, what goes beneath the surface, what goes on when nobody's around. What are the stories you will not tell your best friend? What are the stories you won't tell the closest person that you know? What are the things that happen in your relationship that go on that you try to forget and don't even tell your motherfucking self? That's where a relationship is won or lost. And when people don't understand these cultural nuances, they can't get the rhythm of that. And the same that can be said for people who aren't married, talking about relationships. On the surface level, all that shit makes sense. And if you haven't worked through your mommy and daddy issues, those people who aren't successfully married and can show you through their life's actions that it works, they're going to speak to that level of you, that level of trauma that you haven't dealt with or need to deal with, and you're unaware you need to deal with it. And I'm looking higher than a motherfucker right now. God damn. That was some good ass weed I was smoking. Y'all see how I was looking when this video started? God damn, a nigga's eyes is red. Anyway. Anyway. But the married people can feel me when I say this. When you haven't shown that you can hold a woman down for an extended period of time, you don't understand the intricacies of what it takes to make it work. Because making a relationship work isn't just looking good in public in front of people. Shut up, Quan. You're supposed to be a moderator. You part of the problem. Dang. We do it to ourselves. My own mind's clowning the fuck out of me. God damn. Anyway. I'm coming to Dallas May 26th. Tickets will be on sale sometime in the next 2 weeks. Assholes. May 29th here in LA, Comedy Chateau. Assholes. Get y'all tickets. I'm gonna be hide in too. Well, anyway. So what happens is when you're dealing with people who are single, who haven't proven to be someone that can successfully hold a woman down, your insecurities and their insecurities meet. So, fuck you, Dr. Sinister. So, nigga said, give me a Snickers. So, what happens is you connect on a superficial level. That's true. And that's why when I see people in this manosphere having these arguments over which manosphere person they like over the other, which one's lying, which one's bullshitting, all of them are telling a lot of truth because they're all right, but they're just telling the truth from different angles. You know what I mean? They all have their own truth from different angles. But all of their truths generally come out of trauma, undealt with trauma. And that undealt with trauma is the reason why they can't hold nobody down. When you a man, do you have undealt trauma? I don't give a fuck how good your situation is. A woman with sense ain't trying to marry that. Now, you can get somebody that's either desperate or super young and don't know no better, but a woman that has some kind of life experience and has some kind of sense, it don't matter what stats you can post, because it's something about you that's going to make her be like, I don't know if I can give my life to this person. You dig? You got to go through some battles. You have to go through battles to maintain a relationship. You got to be ready to... In order for a relationship to work, let me tell y'all the truth. In order for it to really work, you have to be willing to walk away. You have to be willing to let them go. And you reach that point. But for some motherfucking reason, you still stay together. And you don't know goddamn why. It takes a few years to get to that. It takes, and that don't just happen once. That happens a few times. But you go through some shit that's gonna make you be like, do I really want this? And at that point, you can start passing along information on what it takes to maintain a relationship. But if you get to that point, and every time you get to that point, either you leave or she leaves, then you don't truly know what it is because you quit. Or got quitted on. That's why, like I always say this, and my longtime listeners, I use this as an example all the time. Again, let me give you my experience. I got over 25 years working with children. I've worked with over 1,000 children here in LA. I'm certified. You go to my Twitter, you'll see some of my kids now. Well, they're not kids no more. Some of these niggas is like in their early 30s, late 20s. Because I work with them so long. I got some kids I work with. I'm 40. I'm 41. I got kids I worked with that are now like 34 years old. Because I started so young. I was doing this shit in my late teens. So when I was 16, they was 9. You know what I mean? That's a big difference when you're 16. And when I was 30, they was 15. So now, so they catching up to me, a lot of them. So you'll see them on Twitter every now and then, tweeting me. Hell, if those of you who came to my show, February 25th, my last show at the Comedy Chateau, I had 2 kids that I coached that was at the show. I was able to point them out to y'all. Like, look, that was Nick. He actually was raised in Watts and got a full ride scholarship to Georgetown University and graduated in 4 years with a degree in English. And so I'm certified in these streets with proven methods. I mean, I've coached kids that have gotten to Division I basketball in college on the basketball tip to the NBA. And I've coached kids who've become valedictorians and full ride scholarship kids to Ivy League schools out of Watts. I've mentored children who've become engineers. I've mentored children that was killed by the streets. I've mentored ladies who've become prostitutes. I've mentored the women on the same block who've gone on to open up businesses. I'm not gonna say everything has been peachy cream. I looked up one of my kids, he's serving 9 years in jail. I'm like, fuck. His name came to my mind. So I Googled his name and I saw he had did some crime in Vegas. And he locked up for 9 years. And that fucking hurt. Because I invested so much of my soul into this kid. So, with all that being said, I got a book that I wrote. I mean, I got parents. Hold on, I got this helicopter coming over. It's a nice helicopter. That's one of the nice helicopters, too. Y'all hear that? I ain't one of them cheap ones. That nigga spent bread on that helicopter. But yeah, that shit nice. I love airplanes. Anyway, that was a helicopter. Anyway, that kid, working with these kids, I have Google reviews on breakthroughas.org. Go look me up on Google. I'm a certified nigga. I said all that to say, you never hear me dictate to parents because I don't have any kids. I have thousands that I worked with, and I'm certified. And I got a college degree in this shit. But I don't have my own kids. So I've never had to wake up at 2 in the morning because my kid got a fucking ear infection. And now I got a decision to make. I'm out of sick time. Do I stay home and take care of my sick kid? Or do I go to work to make money to pay these bills with my sick kid on my mind at work? I've never had to make that decision. So because I've never had to make that decision, I speak with respect to parents. I'm not an expert on parents. I'm a certified expert on working with children. Yes, I am. But I can't come to you as an expert on being a parent because I'm not a fucking parent. And it's a reason why I'm not a parent. I work with so many fucking kids. I don't want my own goddamn kids. But I have my imprint on thousands of children throughout Los Angeles. So my imprint is there. But I didn't want my own fucking kids because all the shit, how much trauma I had to deal with working with kids. That was some traumatic shit. I sacrificed my whole 30s and late 20s, really with a low-paying ass fucking job. Out here in South Central LA, Nickerson Gardens, Jordan Downs, the Jungles, Watts, South Central Compton, Inglewood, 5 days a week, chasing these kids around, making sure they're in class and giving them some fucking games so they can elevate their life. And then I'm spending the weekends coaching basketball for like 5 years in a row. Every vacation that I took from work was on a road tournament with my basketball team. The Vegas tournament, the Colorado tournament, the Portland, Oregon tournament. I mean, all my vacation time at work for 5 years was consumed with taking my traveling basketball team to different tournaments across the country. I didn't take no time for myself from 2009 to 2014. Not one vacation, no Vegas trips. Well, I did go to Vegas as a coach. And mind you, when we coached in the Fab 48 in Vegas, my program I coached had like 17, 18 from different age groups. So the first game I'm coaching is at 8 a.m. in Henderson, Nevada. If you know to put on the map of Vegas, I'm staying at the motherfucking Planet Hollywood on the Strip. The first game is at 8 a.m. way out in Henderson. I'm the coach, so that means I gotta be at the gym at 7, which means I gotta leave at 6:30 a.m. in Vegas. Second game is in North Las Vegas at 11. So as soon as my game is over with, I gotta go way to North Las Vegas to coach that game. Then the next game is at 3. That's over off Durango, and literally the tournaments, the Fab 48 in Vegas is literally spaced out across the whole city. So I'm literally coaching basketball games from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So yeah, I'm in Vegas for a week, but I'm coaching. I got kids. So all that being said, I don't have my own fucking kids. So how the fuck am I gonna speak as an expert on goddamn being a parent? That's so disrespectful to parents. If you're a parent of a 6-month-old, your 6 months as a parent trumps my 25 plus years experience working. My dad called me, I gotta call him back. Call you back, Pops. But that's why I say that about relationships. When you start taking advice on what it takes to maintain relationships, you're going to get a good message. When you taking relationship advice from people, you're going to get a good message. It's going to sound good. It's going to feel good. But you're not going to get the substance of what it takes to make it work. So let me give you, before I finish my ranting and raving, because you see it's a sunny day here in LA, I'm about to get on my barbecue grill. And then when I get off my barbecue grill, I'm gonna come back to y'all, do some relationship readings. But let me give you some advice as a married person, as somebody that is successful with relationships. You have to make yourself strong. You have to face that thing inside of you that's, let me give you a clue of that thing inside of you that's bugging you. That's that thing that bothers you, that if you keep running into a problem with every woman that you deal with, fellas, or every man that you deal with, ladies, I understand it's the LGBTQ community out there, but I don't know what you niggas run into because I ain't never done it. But take what I'm saying and apply it to however you get down with your life. No discrimination from me. But that thing that bugs you and other people, that's something inside of you that you have an issue dealing with. You got to face it and deal with it. If you keep running across women who are insecure, fellas, that's because you're probably insecure. Like attracts like. Now, you may not be insecure in the same way, shape, and form someone else's insecure is, but you got to show up your security. You got to ask, and you don't just say, okay, I'm going to be secure, because that's not going to work either. You got to ask why you're insecure. And fixing the why is how you fix the issue. Usually, that autistic ass motorcycle, what kind of muffler was that on that motorcycle? What the fuck? Was that an XR 250? What the fuck? This nigga had a 199cc motorcycle going through LA, California with that piece of shit. If you don't get that 100cc ass motorcycle out of here, that nigga had a lawnmower motorcycle on a moped that looked like a jigsaw. But anyway, You gotta fix that. You you gotta, and insecurity is usually born out of a mistrust that happened to you in somewhere between the age of 0 and 13. Between the age, usually between 0 and 8, somebody important in your life that should have been there for you broke your trust. That's usually when you're an adult and you're insecure. There's not nothing wrong with you. Usually there was a point of trauma that happened between the age of 0 and 8 that someone that you should have been able to depend on did something, and it made you draw the conclusion because of what that person that you should have been able to trust in did to you, or you saw them do. It's either a trauma point like that, that's one trauma point, or another way it plays itself out. You have a mom or a dad, and you saw them always shucking and jiving, saying one thing, doing something else, saying they're gonna come get you, they not come, breaking your trust, doing things kind of like underhanded. You kind of see it and observe it, don't really know what's going on, but you sort of adopt that pattern of behavior because that's the environment that you're in. And because you're in an environment where you see the people that you should be trusting, you see them being untrustworthy, you draw the conclusion that there's no one that you can't trust anybody. Something happened, or a series of events happened at a young age that make you not trust people, which therefore made you not trust yourself. And through not trusting yourself, you don't trust no one around you. That's the trauma you got to deal with if you want to move forward and be a trusting person in a relationship, or if you want to attract trustworthiness. You got to fix these issues that happen. You got to address them, and you got to resolve them within your own mind, within your own spirit. I just use trust as an example. That you can use that on any example, whatever your issue is. And I find I can go right to your issues in your card reading. We have a card reading. I'll go right to your issue and tell you what it is. And then, if you really want some therapy, I'll point you in a way of some therapy, either traditional therapy or hypnotherapy, whatever you choose. I'm not here to make people uncomfortable. When I do readings, I give you solutions, and I refer it to you on whatever level that you can comprehend and work it out on. You dig? So you gotta fix those things, because a true relationship is 1 + 1 = 3. That's a real relationship. Two strong individuals in a strong relationship. And I'm not saying you need to fix these issues before you get in your relationship. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying is you have to be a person, if the relationship, because we're not gonna have all of our issues fixed ever. We don't ever have to be perfect to get with somebody. And a lot of fellas think that. The reason why a lot of men don't really be as aggressive with you is because a lot of men aren't in the financial position that makes them comfortable. So if a man isn't comfortable financially, he's not gonna be, I'm talking about a man that's on his square. I ain't talking about some corny ass nigga. I'm talking about a man of integrity and of honesty and trust. If he doesn't feel that he's at his best financially and can do right by you financially, he's not gonna be as assertive with you, locking you down, because it's something in the spirit that ain't gonna allow him to just, you know what I mean? That's a dynamic that exists out there to make a lot of you ladies aware. And to you fellas who are in that dynamic, just keep focused on getting your shit right. You don't have to be perfect, because these women will accept you without being perfect. And same thing vice versa. If you have to be willing to give what you want in return. Why am I saying that? While you're on the road to fixing yourself, you have to be on the road to fixing yourself and be conscious about being the best person you can be. And on that road, you'll attract other people on that road. And to the level you fall short, you have to be willing to give other people that level of rope. You can't expect perfection. A lot of these niggas be expecting women to be perfect and get it right and understand. And no, that fucking takes time. For a woman to truly get your groove, that takes years. It takes years of her fucking up And then when she's done fucking up, she gonna keep fucking up. Just like you gonna keep fucking up. So to the level of you fuck up is the level you have to allow her to fuck up. The issue is people want to be imperfect and expect perfection in return. And these be the single niggas you hear here talking about relationships. Nigga, you ever think the reason why the shit ain't ever worked out because when it gets to that point of you having to get to the next level, either you or she breaks. If that keeps happening over and over and over and over again, that's not time for you to judge other people and talk to other people. That's time for you to deal with that thing that you're dealing with. I appreciate the cash, the super chat, hopeful Destiny. I'm not even here to judge people that have professional relationship issues. Like certain people have certain people relationships are just hard. Like if I do a card reading and you're a 3 of diamonds person, most 3 of diamonds people have a hard time in relationships. You know what I mean? Because it's so random. You know what I mean? They can be so back and forth, and that can be hard on people. And they can be so 5 of spades people have such a hard time choosing. You know, 3 of spades. I'm sorry, 3 of spades people. They just don't know what to choose. Certain people just you kind of born with inherent traits that make relationships tough. And then there are other people who are not only born with inherent traits, they were raised in environments to where they never saw a trustworthy environment. So if you weren't bred in a trustworthy environment, you don't know how to you don't know how to create a trustworthy environment. That's something we got to be trained on. So if that's the case and you're somebody who's constantly getting to that point of marriage or engagement or with someone, and every time it gets to that point, she's not good enough, I haven't found someone to meet my level of expectation, and you fucking in your mid-50s. How old was Kevin Samuels? Like what? I appreciate Kitty Smith. But how old was Kevin Samuels? Well, 50, in the mid-50s? Divorced twice, and this isn't to say anything bad about him, because I'm not here to say that, because I do think that he did give some sage advice. And again, I'm not saying don't completely not listen to these cats, because they are addressing things on a certain level. That's true. But understand it's deeper than that. And if you're in your mid-50s, 50s, something like that, and you are still having these issues, that's really the time to look within. It really is. But instead of looking within, the saucy stories of the failures of relationships past gets projected out. And that's when you have all these talks about women. And I get it, people. I understand Kevin Samuels spent most of his life talking to the men. He did. But where he got popular is when he started talking about the women. And the reason he got popular was justified. He was saying things that are true. The things that he talked about, Kevin Samuels and those people, and same thing with this Miss Pearly girl, whatever her name is, when I would look at some of her clips, they were diagnosing the problem well. But what good is diagnosing me with the cold if you can't give me medicine to fix it? Let me tell you who these people are, like this white lady and these so-called relationship people who are single. They COVID vaccines. That's what they are, COVID vaccines. Unproven poison. Yes, we diagnose a problem. We rub the swab up your nose and we diagnose you have COVID. These are the symptoms of COVID. Runny nose, this, that, whatever. And then you're listening to this diagnosis. Ooh, I got COVID. Runny nose. Yep, I got COVID. They right. I got this disease. Then they say, come take this jab. but they ain't showing you nowhere in their life that they have what it takes to maintain what you're looking for. Everybody know how to hook up and get sex. What people are looking for is commitment. So you get these people like that white lady and these single relationship experts diagnosing the problem, saying you have COVID, giving you all the symptoms of the problem, but they're giving you the Wumpty Wimps 19 vaccine. And you wonder why you sick. And yeah, right, and they giving you booster shots. And you wonder why you sick. Why none of your relationship dynamics work out. You ever ask yourself, who is this giving me this medicine? And why should I take that medicine? And has this medicine worked for you? Simple equation. Whatever medicine the people who are giving you, I'm not saying listen to it or don't listen to it. I don't give a fuck. Just ask yourself, is the medicine they're offering, has it worked for them? And you draw your own conclusion. If you feel that it has worked for them and they're at a level that you want to attain and get to, then by all means, follow the advice. But if they're not really where you're going, you may perceive them as a step ahead of you. And let me tell you something about this internet. People ain't what they project, nigga. This is the internet. People just, it's like anything else. You can't trust what people project on here. You cannot trust it. Just, only thing you trust is your spirit. That's all you can trust is your spirit. You can't trust in other people, but trust your spirit. So ask yourself, has the medicine that they're offering worked for them? And don't argue with these niggas. Somebody like this relationship guy over that relationship guy, maybe that relationship guy is speaking from their perspective of their trauma point. Everybody has different trauma points. But what I find is most of these relationship dudes speak from trauma, and women, they speaking from trauma points. And whoever you gravitate to, they are speaking from your trauma point. And that's fine for a season. Because when you're discovering that you're having an issue, first thing that happens is anger. And when you run across people who speak to that anger, it can help you flush out that anger. So I'm not here to judge y'all. I'm speaking from love, for real, for real. I'm speaking from love. I'm not here to judge. What I'm saying is, let the anger be a season. Because there's a season for everything. Don't let the anger be your story. Don't let that be your life story. Don't let that be your whole life experience. Let that be a challenge for you to jump over. Let that be a season. Get the anger out, and then go from anger to being constructive, to fixing. You can't just spin on these angry stories year in and year out. Women this, women that. You can't trust women. Don't trust these hoes. The black women do it to you every time. All the stories that people tell themselves. Let that be a season, not your story. All right? But I'm gonna do some relationship readings and some readings later on. So get your questions ready. You know, of course, Cash Apps get first priority. And I have some call in, so I know a lot of y'all are not interested in relationship and card readings and stuff like that. So I respect this. So I was like, I was gonna do these shows together, but I was like, now I'm gonna split it up. I'm gonna talk about this shit first, and then for those of you interested, I'll be back on about 7 o'clock on in my studio. You know me, I like being out here in the sunshine because it's been raining like a motherfucker. So I gotta get this vitamin D in my ass, my motherfucking, on my head, on my scalp. Sun. Because it's going to be raining again in LA on Tuesday and Wednesday, so let me get this sun in. But I'll be in the studio later on about 7 o'clock Pacific doing some relationship shit. You out?
Was you doing comedy too?
Yeah, I had a show I had a sold out show on Saturday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You got to come out. I'm doing a show I'm doing one in April. April 29th. All right. Yeah, the activists, it is very difficult to get through the anger, but you got to get through it. Anger is a journey. It's not the destiny, okay? See, what they tell you in these fucking therapists tell you that emotions are wrong. Every emotion is fine within itself, but every emotion life is a wave, ups and downs. Let your anger be the dip, but go right back up. Then you're going to be in ecstasy for a while. Then when you got ecstasy, you're going to go down, you're going to dip again, be angry. It's part of life. Face the anger. Face your dark side. That's the thing. All of us have demons, but niggas don't want to be able to face them demons. Face your demons. Because when you face your demons, you harness your demons. You can now control them demons. And you can unleash them demons on them. Hey, have a good one. And when you know how to harness your demons, you can release your demons on people who need your motherfucking demons to be released on because they fucking with you. But if you don't face your demons are gonna fuck you up. You're the devil and you're God. You're both. Acknowledge both sides. Don't just be like, I'm light, I'm heaven, I'm good, I'm great, I'm light. Nigga, you evil too. All you niggas listening, all you niggas, you evil than a motherfucker, including me. I'm evil, but I'm also lovely and light too. I'm both, and so are you. And we spend most of our lives somewhere in the middle of that pendulum. We're both, and most of our lives are spent somewhere in the middle. But don't fuck with me. Get evil. Treat me right. I'm going to be light. And everybody else, I'm going to be somewhere in the middle. Acknowledge that. Face your demons. And when you face your demons, you'll get in good relationship positions. My demon side used to peek out. Now I control when that motherfucker come out. My demon side still come out. But it come out when I tell it to. When people fuck with me. But it's always under control. It used to not be under control. But when I faced it and really understood what it is, now I control it. So now if you get some shit from me that's evil, I did it on purpose. Why not? Mm-hmm. I only do it on purpose if you was fucking with me. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Relationship reading show later on. So get your questions ready, get your Cash Apps ready, and we're going to talk about it, all right? In the meantime, I'm Dwan B. Remember, there are no perfect messengers, only perfect messages for those willing to pick up the game. Trust yourself. People from other cultures, they don't get it. People who haven't shown proven in a relationship, they don't get it. You and your instincts, and trust yourself. Listen to other people, take whatever you can get from them, but don't stay in anger. Let anger be a moment, let anger be a period of time. Let anger be a process that you get through, not that you go to.